to add the leaves to this tree trunk we have here, I would like to add or move the cursor to this region here, and to do so I will click on the Bezier curve. We can call this the tree curve, and once we tab into edit mode, you can see that you can select this point here. And remember, we talked about how you can move the cursor to the selected region, but I think I need to get it closer to this area here, because the leaves should not be suspended in the air. So I will click on G, and I can actually move it down a bit. Don't worry about the curve, we can easily adjust that. So yes, I think I like this. And now we can select this point here and click on Shift S, and we can see these options here, and we want to move our cursor to the selected region. So we click on this, and now we have the cursor moved to this region, and this is where we will start working on our leaves. The first thing I will do is to add a plane to this area here, and I will do so by first tabbing out of edit mode from the tree curve. Then I will click on Shift A, go to mesh, go to plane, and now I have a plane added to this region here. So S, and let's say we want to scale it up twice the size. So this is not convincing enough, so let me scale it again by another 2. Yeah, so I think I like this. So now I can just focus on this object by clicking on / and let's get to work. So I have to ensure that I know what direction the leaves should go, so I will check my top view and I can see the curve of the tree. So let's say the leaves are bending this way, so now this will be taken as my top and bottom, and this area will be the side. So I will rename this as leaves or leaf, and we can now go ahead to hide the tree, or instead just focus on this leaf. Good. So the next thing we'll do is to add some loop cuts. In this case, I can add one loop cut over here for the bone of the leaf. So I will switch to the edit mode and go Ctrl R and just click on escape to have the bone of the leaf. Then I would like it to be narrower, so I should definitely resize it by the x-axis. Remember to turn off proportional editing by typing O, so S, X, and make it thinner. So I think I like that. So we can add some veins to the leaf. Ctrl R again, go over here, let's say we want it to be, yes, so this is good. You can work on your number of cuts manually here. So I think I like the number of cuts to be set to 6. So good, we have our basic shape for the leaf. Now the next thing I would do is I would like to make this edge here to be pointy, same as this edge here. So I can go to vertex select and go to my top view so that I can easily see this area to select. And proportional editing will do the trick, because I need to smoothen this area here as I am working. So I'll click on O, ensure it's on smooth proportional editing. So I'll click on S to scale, and I think this is good. I can scroll out if I like. Same thing as bottom, S to scale. Okay, so I think I want to add one more here to even it out, and even here to even it out. Yeah, so it's kind of balanced this way. Alright, so once we've done that, we can manually just move some things around because I have some sharp edges for the leaf. So let me just tab back to the top and click on S to scale it in a bit. Same thing with here. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but I think this is good enough for what we want to achieve. Yeah, I really like this. Good. So now we can toggle off proportional editing and get to work. Now the loop select will help us to select a line of edges, and we can achieve that by clicking on Alt and selecting. Let me switch to the edge select, so we can click on Alt and select. Now this is not working right now because we have the emulate mouse option in our settings. And remember, if you click on Alt and left click, it will act as your middle mouse button. So some of you might find this weird, you know, and you can fix that by going to Edit, Preferences, and you can toggle this off. And once you go back, Alt and select, you can now have this. Good. So we would now go back to proportional editing and toggle to the let's say to the side. Let's go to the left side, and we can go G, Z, and scroll out a bit while we do that, just to have this curve for the edges. So I think I like this little inclination. Now the next thing I would do is to go to vertex select and just select one of these vertices. As far as I'm on proportional editing, I'm good to go. I'll click on G, Z, and take it up and increase that curve a bit. Good. So if you look at this leaf, it looks pretty neat, but we're not done just yet, because what's a palm leaf without some tears here and there? So to achieve that, you know, nice patch on this leaf, we can use this vertex rip region option here, and this essentially helps us to rip whatever area we select. So if you select any of this vertex and you just drag it, you can simply rip that region. So you can see this fine effect for the patch there, and I think I like what I'm getting. A quick way to select the rip region, especially if you are still on the select box, is just to tap on V. So once you tap on V, of course you have to select one of the one of the vertex first, else it's going to fail. So tap on one of the vertex, then tap on V, and now you can rip that leaf. So get ripping, everybody. So let's do this. Let's make it balanced a bit, so in this area here. Now that we have this patchy looking palm leaf, we can now go ahead to position it just above the tree trunk, and this is what I mean. If I toggle the tree trunk back on, you can see that there is this distance that has been created between the leaf and the trunk, and this is because when we were working with the proportional editing tool, we moved this leaf upwards on the z-axis, and once you're moving an object in the edit mode, it's going to move that object or that mesh away from the midpoint of that object. So we'll need to tab back into edit mode, and let me refocus this into the left view, and we can select everything. Let's say we select everything by tapping on A, then we can click on G, constrain it to the Z-axis, G again, constrain it to the Y-axis, and that's good enough. We can click on R and just rotate it a bit, then freely move it around. So I think I like this, you know, this kind of curve it has at this area. So now we are good to go in duplicating the leaf and populating it for this tree. So before I begin duplicating this leaf, I'll tab into the object mode, go to the top view, and let's try rotating this leaf while we duplicate. So I can just go with Alt D, and while I have that on hold, I can just click on R and gradually rotate it. So it's going to rotate with respect to the median point, because it's currently set to transform pivot point median point. So that's what we're going to do. So I will keep on doing that. Alt D, R, and gradually populate this view here with that. So Alt D, R, let's see, and one more, Alt D, R. Good. And things are taking shape, right? Yeah, good. So I will go back to the top view again because I want to add some more leaves. So let's do that again. Alt D, R, and rotate it this way. So now I can rotate this leaf to be higher than the base leaves here. So I can go R. Let's rotate it on the Y-axis, and this should be good. And I think I want to resize it a bit, so S, and now we can start with that. So I can go Alt D, R, good. And now I have this nice looking palm tree here. And of course, in real life, the palm tree leaves wouldn't be exactly the same size, so you can now work on resizing some of these leaves.